Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here, and budget deck season is here. It is now the second month of Rise of Shadows, and the start of the second month of an expansion is an ideal time to start really building budget decks. The meta is almost stable, and it's a new season, so climbing begins again. People are playing the good stuff, and you want to pit your budget decks against the good stuff in order to properly test them. So that's exactly what I have done. And this is the first one that I have built. It's a Zoo Warlock. Well, Zoo Warlock is traditionally a very strong budget deck. But right now, most Zoo Warlocks are playing Magic Carpet builds. And Magic Carpet is an epic card. And it's an epic card that doesn't have use in any other deck except for Zoo Warlock. So it's a pretty painful card to craft. On the other hand, it doesn't have to be about Magic Carpet. The way that I thought Zoo Warlock would work before we got the cards for the new expansion was based on mechs and based on death rattles. And these mech and death rattle synergies are still pretty good. There have been some people even piloting mech death rattle based Zoo Warlocks to high legend. And there are also things that you can do with them on a budget. Obviously, when you're on a budget, you're missing out on Solarium, you're missing out on Leeroy Jenkins, you're missing out on Zilliax. Zilliax is especially a big deal on a mech-based deck where there are tons of magnetization opportunities for that card. But that said, I spent 2 days testing and refining Budget Zoo Warlock, and this is a little bit under 60% win rate Budget Zoo Warlock at 1380 dust. It's viable for climbing, even all the way up to legend, although it is quite a grind to get there. But definitely much easier to climb to something like rank 5 with this. The deck is based on mechs and mech death rattles and being annoying. It's very annoying to try to clean up the board of this deck, because Scarabek, new minions come out, Mekaru, another minion comes out, Harvest Golem, a minion comes out, Replicating Menace, minions come out. So it's a ton of work to clean up the board of this deck. And when this deck has minions, it can use Grim Rally, it can buff up those minions, it can play Frostwolf Warlord, and that can be a pretty huge minion, so it can also go tall as well as going wide. Even without using epic cards like Sea Giants, Frostwolf Warlord can get the job done. And as long as there are any mechs on board, there's always the risk of magnetization. Replicating Menace itself is an excellent card to magnetize on other mechs, and War Gear really allows you to go tall as well. Even if you just go into Explodinator and the opponent leaves a 0-2 bomb on the board, and you play War Gear on that bomb, and suddenly you have a 5-7. It's almost like having a Doom Guard. So even though you don't have that Magic Carpet, you don't have that ability to just push with rush minions for board control, you can take a different approach and you can go with the death rattles. And that in turn allows you to stay on the board and be very difficult to drive out of it. There is actually only one new Rise of Shadows card in this deck, and that card is Evil Genius, which is simply superb. Valkyrie, destroy a friendly minion to add 2 random blackies to your hand, and your ideal thing is to pop a Scarabeg. Because if you Grim Rally a Scarabeg, okay, you pop it, you get the 1/1s, but they don't get the buff. But if you, for example, have a Scarabeg, and you can play Evil Genius on the Scarabeg, get the 1/1s out, and then Grim Rally one of them, some excellent stuff. Also, Grim Rally synergizes incredibly well with all the bombs. From Explodinator, Grim Rally a bomb, deal 2 damage to face, buff up your other minions. Even though this deck is a budget deck, it has a lot of options, and it can go wide, and it can go tall. It just has many things that you can do with this, so it's a pretty fun deck to play. There are 2 flex slots in the deck. Currently, those flex slots are occupied by 1 copy of Defender of Argus and 1 copy of Spellbreaker. I have found that this is the best balance that I can come up with at the moment. Having a silence effect is a little bit surprising in the meta. You can do nice surprises with that one. And it has actually been pretty instrumental in many of my wins with the deck. And Defender of Argus, being able to taunt up some of your minions, can help you really defend, and getting 2 taunts means that you're not as susceptible to something like a sap. One advantage of not having any really powerful cards that you really want to hold on to is that you can pretty freely also use Soulfire. Soulfire is a multi-purpose card in a deck like this. You can use it for board control, and obviously you can use it as a finisher. That's the main use of the card. But don't forget that you can also kill off some minions and use your minions to deal the damage. As for the mulligans with this deck, you're generally looking for a good curve. You want to get on board on one. Flame Imp, Mecharoo, Voidwalker, all excellent 1-drops to get on the board immediately. After those, you're looking for your 2-drops, especially if you can find stuff like Keep Scarabeg and Evil Genius. That would be great, or Scarabeg together with a Direwolf Alpha. So you can already start working on a plan on how the game is going to go. You play something on turn 1, then you Scarabeg on 2, then maybe you proc the egg with the Direwolf, maybe you proc the egg with Genius. Already from the mulligan phase you start to see the opportunities that you have. And if you have these early minions, you can often even keep stuff like Harvest Golem, or Explodinator or Replicating Menace, if you already have place for 1 and 2. Again, especially if you can fit them on a curve, like you have Harvest Golem and Replicating Menace. Oftentimes Harvest Golem is not killed, or you are left with the 2-1 Golem, and then you can magnetize from the Replicating Menace on that. Just try to curve up, create pressure, and create boards that are difficult for your opponent to deal with. So when you're playing against Warrior, think about your death rattles, think about how many warpaths can they cast, can they get rid of the death rattle minion and the tokens inside, or can you buff up the health of the death rattle minion, so that even if they use warpath, for example, they just can't get rid of the tokens too, so that you will have something left over. Life would of course be easier if the Defender of Argus and Spellbreaker were replaced with Zilliax and Leeroy Jenkins, for example. But still, even as a budget version, this Zoo deck is perfectly capable of climbing. If you enjoyed this content, then please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more. And now, I have prepared 6 sample games of this Zoo Warlock, some wins, some losses, to give you a real good insight into how this plays in action. And let's go take a look at that. We'll see. Okay. We're going in. Let's see about this mage. Mage kept 2 cards, so there's reason to expect Conjurer's Calling in hand. There's probably a tap, right? Tap is better than playing one of those minions on the board. Next turn, then we try to go in with the Harvest Golem, I suppose. Does he have Book of Spectres? He does. Does he discard anything? Because if he doesn't, then he can already do the Giant next turn, and then I believe that will be a loss. No discards. Well, I can't kill a Giant. I have to kill a Giant. That's the only option. Because he kept multiple cards, so I have a pretty good read that there is a Conjurer's Calling already in hand. And now I have to hope that there's no Coin Scorcher.
Arena's full. Beat it.
Rebel Bouncer, I suppose, is still fine. Oh, that one is bad. Okay, need to go in with the War Gear. Protocol kills, this one kills the Rebel Bouncer. I'll double trade in that one, hit face. Because he could of course top deck a Scorcher, so 1/1s are not quite as valuable. Scale 1 works out quite nicely. I could get a board of 2 2s, or I can try to use the mechs. I probably still need to go with the mechs. Voidwalker and War Gear and go face. Let's see. This is what I need to do. Tough. Oh no. What? Voodoo Doll. Harsh. Now I need to go in with the Knife Jugglers. He has 1 discovered spell, so I'm not a huge fan of that, but we'll see. Try it like this. Get as much juggle damage in as I can. Non-scorchable. Mind Control Tech is an excellent card. Okay, do I have what it takes? I have 6. No, I don't have what it takes. I can give the replicating menace rush. I can lackey this one. I have to try something like that. 5 mana. If I play all of my cards, is that a problem? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't get all of the juggle hits right. I don't think I can. I think something like this is the best I can do. Not sure, was there some kind of... Maybe there was some kind of percentage chance for lethal, but I thought it was too low. MC Tech doesn't matter. Cone of Cold doesn't matter, we take the game. Let's see what we can do. Oh, not Soulfire. Soulfire is such a bad early draw. But I do need it for reach. He didn't have a 1/1 on board. No, he did not. Seriously, I just told you the math on the previous turn. This is shaping up pretty good so far. Because next turn I can do Evil Genius into Grim Rally. He's going for some kind of Edwin play. I suppose that's an Edwin play. A pretty big turn to Edwin. I think we're racing. I believe we are going to race this Edwin. Yes, I believe we are going to race this Edwin. Let's see. Can we race? That's the great. Turn 2 8/8 Edwin. Draw 3 cards. That's what Rogue wants to do. And I want to race him. So let's see. Next turn will be the big waggle big. But what can come before that? I already seen a prep, I've already seen a coin. If there's no backstab, and there should be no backstab because he didn't backstab the Flame Imp. So he shouldn't be able to do anything useful this turn. Next turn will be the waggle big though. So I do have to ask myself whether I want to Soulfire the Edwin. Because next turn is waggle big and maybe a couple of 3/3s. I think we're trying to race this. Let's see. Waggle pick comes down now. Okay, so he has 2 waggle picks. How many Corsairs? 1 Corsair. Now I'm probably Soulfiring this Edwin. I mean, I could also leave it up. No, I can't leave it up. So I'll have 5 minions on the board after this one trades. I can discover a spell here. Well, that's a good spell. Let's discover that spell. Play this minion. Trade with this one over there. Shadow Bolt the Edwin. Some more face. Okay, Rogue. Next move. He has another pirate that he got from the raiding party. He has another waggle. It's a Fan of Knives off the top. I didn't expect him to run Fan of Knives, much less him to top deck Fan of Knives here. Ooh. This is getting... well, he has another Waggle pick, I know. Turning this into a 2-drop isn't that great, but it's something. I have the option to Soulfire the Dread Corsair. No. I can play everything else and leave Soulfire. Evil Genius will trade. This will go face. It will become a 2-drop. Mekaru on the board. Replicating Menace on the board. Soulfire left in hand. No more Dread Corsairs. I know there's a Waggle pick in hand. I've seen one Fan of Knives. I'm at 15, he's at 6 mana. So that damage is not coming up right now. But it might come a little bit later. He's at 13 and I have 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 12. No, I don't. I have more. I can magnetize the Replicating Menace. We got this. Boom. Take that, rogue. I think I need some magnetization stuff here. Give me some good stuff to magnetize. No, this hand is terrible. Don't give me this hand. Give me some other kind of hand. Luimke, there's a video on my YouTube channel about how to nerf Elysiana, and I also wrote an article about that for Hearthstone top decks. So you can check those resources for good arguments. And no, making it 9 mana is not adequate. Harvest Golem time, and hope there's no Backstab SI. There's one card that he kept, so I'm not really expecting Backstab SI, although I guess it's possible. Oh, this is interesting. Time to get some more stuff on the board then. Let's see. There can still be Backstab or SI or something. Now it's less likely that my Golem is going away though. Deadly Poison SI7? Just a Miscreant. Okay, you have to kill the Juggler. He could have Sap. So if I magnetize stuff on this, there might be a Sap coming. I think it's better to Mekaru, Genius and Rally. That'll give me some lackeys too. Because Sap is really scary. And this could kill the Miscreant. But what if it gets sapped afterwards? Is there any other punish than the Sap though? I don't think there are other punishes. I actually will try this. I'll take down the Miscreant. So he can't bounce that. He could have Fan, but I think it's unlikely. And if this doesn't get sapped, and I get the 1/1s, I can get a big Frostful Warlord out there. He might be able to discover a Sap, of course. Or a Fan. There was a Sap. Okay, I didn't see that coming. He didn't play like he had a Sap available, but turns out that he did. That is difficult for me then. Mekaru, Genius. Use some lackeys. Oh dear, lackeys are not good lackeys. I need some better lackeys. What about the spell? Is 4 damage to a minion good enough? Probably. He hasn't played like he has a big Edwin coming. Shadow Bolt should be fine. I'll turn that into a 2-drop. After a friendly minion dies, give a minion in your hand +1/+1. I like that. I just don't have enough tokens at the moment. Need to look for those tokens still. What is his hand like? Because it looks really slow. He hasn't had raiding parties or anything. He used deadly poison on a dagger instead of holding that for a waggle pick. So I really don't know. But I don't have a read that it would be an Edwin hand. If I thought it was an Edwin hand, I would have kept the Siphon Soul. More lackeys. So many lackeys. He really wants to play with lackeys, I see. I guess he just likes lackeys. I guess he simply likes lackeys then. Can't really buff this up yet. Do I need to play out my Direwolf Alpha and the Harvest Golem? But he has so many lackeys in hand. I think I have to tap. Yes, I found a minion. That's really important. Harvest Golem, Voidwalker. Let's see what happens next. Okay. He has a lot of lackeys. Oh no, discovers more spells. I'm trying to get to a Frostwolf Warlord turn here, but we'll see how it goes. He also has a bunch of discovered stuff, so who knows what he can find. Let's see. Another sap. Alright. So many saps. Replicating Menace. Don't want to kill the Miscreant. I'll leave him with an army of 1/1s. Seen a couple of saps by now. I suppose it's okay. And I kind of do want to kill the Miscreant. Can he have another sap? He has a discovered spell. He probably has 2 saps in the deck. Do I tap into Replicating Menace Voidwalker? What if I can't kill off my Replicating Menace minion? Or do I just play Voidwalker, Frostwolf Warlord, ignore the Miscreant? That's not a bad alternative. I think I'll try this. Let's make an 8/8. I've seen him have trouble dealing with the 0-tree. And I've seen him use saps pretty ineffectively as soon as he was able to get his hand on one. So, what's it going to be like? Okay, so now I've seen all the discovered spells so far. Obviously there's another pair of lackeys now. But how much are they going to matter? Three mana, 2 lackeys. Face tanks some damage. Cool. Oh, there was one more discovered spell. Didn't think of that. So I'm 1 off at the moment with the Direwolf. Okay, now I'm more off because he has a pair of Dread Corsairs. So I'm going to Shadow Bolt this one. And I'm going to Soulfire the 3/3, right? That costs 4 mana. I don't have way to lead. I mean, Grim Rally would have been... yeah, but no. Not against 2 taunts. That costs 4 mana. I will have another 4 mana left over. I could do like Replicating Menace. Then I will lose something. But I probably have to get that 8 to connect to face. Do I have to get that 8 to connect to face? Yeah, I do. 2, 4, 6. Yes, 10 on board. I need to Shadow Bolt that one. I'll play the Replicating Menace on the board. And I'll Soulfire the other taunt and I'll hit face. Let's try this. Because he has so many minions on the board, he can't ensure a specific bounce from the Waggle pick. Like he could have Leeroy play, but then again if he trades the board away, then Leeroy isn't enough for lethal. Even though he can get the Waggle pick bounce on the Leeroy. Top deck backstab is good. So now he has the tools to trade that one away. Will take a lot of his resources, but yeah, this way he can ensure that he bounces the 1/5. But depending on what happens after this, I mean these 2 1/1s, they are representing lethal at the moment, but I guess he will be able to deal with them. Ouch. Yeah, that was a big swing. Can I go down to 10? I suppose I have to. I probably will trade away the life drinkers here. 4 mana. I think I need to go down to 10. He probably gets so lucky that allows him to kill the Direwolf Alpha. That sucks a little bit. 6 mana. Mekaru on this side. Scarabeg on this side. Direwolf Alpha in the middle. Grim Rally on the egg. Will then allow me to trade away both life drinkers. But now obviously I'm at 10, so he has ways. Prepping... what? Prepping Myras, okay. So if he draws Leeroy Shadow Step, that's enough for lethal. Any other... Leeroy Eviscerate is lethal. He can have lethal with Leeroy Eviscerate here. He's able to find those with the Myras. Ouch. Hi Jesus, welcome to the God. I'm happy to have you here. See, if I had muted the notifications altogether, I would not have noticed that Jesus joins the God. Then Jesus would have been all like, I tried to join, but no one cares. What kind of Warlock taps? Why do you tap? You're a Warlock. I'm not going to tap, I'm going to play Harvest Golem. You feel me? Yeah. Well, he didn't spend a whole lot. More tapping. What is going on? I want to hit these tappers in the face. Thanks, Jesus. Yeah, it could be a Handlock. It could totally be a Handlock. I don't think my draw is awesome either, I have to say. Come on. I think I want to hit him in the face some more though. All these Grim Rallies. War mage, eh? Evil genius, what? What is even going on here? So this is definitely a handlock. And I should beat handlock like 9 times out of 10, but how do I do it with this hand? Destroy. Yes, I must destroy, but how? How do I destroy?
Put this apple on your head.
I think I have to destroy like this. I get 2 minions on the board. I like 2 minions on the board. I mean, one knife is going to hit that right, 75% of the time. But now he can just wipe this board because I have no death rattles here. My deck is full of death rattles that I don't have any available. He can't play Godfrey yet. Oh. Oh. So this means that I can play Explodinator. And then I can Grim Rally 2 minions. But even if I Explodinate and Grim Rally twice, can't he still just play Godfrey? If I play Big Frostwolf Warlord, he can't play Godfrey, right? Actually play the Lackey. And I'll play the Warlord. I'll trade a couple of these minions in. A couple go face. Put him down to 16. Now he can't play Godfrey because there's a 9/9 Frostwolf Warlord on the board. He can't Twisting Nether. He has to deal with the Frostwolf Warlord somehow. And after he deals with the Frostwolf Warlord, then I can make a board that cannot be Godfreyed, right? Because I can play the Explodinator, and then I can double rally, which won't be lethal, right? It will be 8, 11. Actually, isn't this just lethal? Tell me this is lethal. So I think this is lethal. Grim Rally there. Grim Rally there. I go face with lots of things. And I Soulfire face. And that's lethal. No, I think I need to get on the board immediately. This allows me to get on the board immediately. That's good. At least it's something. Mage also mulliganed all the cards. And I like that. That's good too. But I like Scarabegs. Making a board of 1/1s before turn 5, it's okay, but at that point I would need to find a Grim Rally. Pair of Rush Lackeys, okay. Playing another Void Walker there. Next turn is going to be coin Frostwolf Warlord. Mind Control Tech is the best he can do for this board at 4 mana.
Engaging TC-130 until dislocated.
Oh, he manages to steal the biggest minion too. Obviously slightly annoying. I still need to do it like this. These will trade. These are going face. I try to get another Frostwolf out there next turn. I hope he doesn't have a Voodoo Doll. He top decks a Voodoo Doll. Top decked Voodoo Doll. Best kind of Voodoo Doll. Don't need to get another Frostwolf Warlord out there. Let's see. Okay, Mossy is annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Next turn he can use the Crowd Roaster on this though. Need to make the most of this time. Go Harvest Golem push face. Now he can Crowd Roaster the Frostwolf Warlord. If he has a Crowd Roaster. I have a couple of Death Rattle mechs on the board, so I should be able to magnetize something there. He could have Taunt minions, of course.
We must band together, united.
Okay, Khadgar Conjurer's calling. For oh no. Not double Sunwalkers. Oh dear. I can't kill double Sunwalkers. Even with double Coupling Lackeys. That's tough. I guess I lost then. Looks like I lost. Looks like I lost. He high rolled the Conjurer's calling. That's all it takes. Yeah, I mean, and it was unlikely that he would roll a taunt. Because 6-drops are usually not taunts. It's like 10% per. It's like 10% per roll. And Khadgar only gives you an extra copy of the same. It doesn't actually give you another roll, so it's not 4 different rolls, it's just 2. So he had a very low probability to actually get that done. But now obviously I lost this game. Yeah, I have to mulligan all of this. I keep drawing these expensive cards. Why? Well, I can silence a Scavenging Hyena. I think we open with the Flame Imp. I don't have any real good thing to do with the Mecha rule here. Flame Imp can kill most of the stuff, like if he coins like a Galvanizer. I can actually kill it. Unless... well, I can actually kill it. And I do need to kill it. And I need to get as much stuff on the board as I can, because now he has cheap mechs. I need to try to prevent him from magnetizing. Okay. So far he hasn't been able to magnetize, but he's getting to draw more stuff. And he still has 3 more cards that are cheap. The real question is, do I have to silence the Replicating Menace now? Is that enough of an advantage? Then I cannot silence Missile Launcher, Venomizer kind of stuff.
Your magic shall not save.
I think I have to. I think I have to silence this one here. I believe this is the way. Prevent him from getting wide.
Unity, precision, perfection.
See, Zilliax doesn't change anything. He can still have Missile Launcher, but it has to be this card if he wants to play it next turn. Always need to kill the Zilliax, but what else? What if I have no Death Rattles? I want stuff on this board because of Spider Bombs and things. What I actually want to do, I do use this to trade away the Zilliax. How? But then I'll use Replicating Menace on this one. And that one goes face. So I have a Death Rattle that loads stuff into this onto this board. So that's a Bomb Toss. This can be preparation for a Missile Launcher play. That's totally possible. But I don't want to let him magnetize anything. Trade, trade, trade. Is it a Frostwolf Warlord? Or is it a War Gear? I think this has to be the Frostwolf Warlord, right? It could be Explodinator Direwolf Alpha, but I think that's too weak. I will have 3 minions on the board. In case he has like Spider Bomb.
The Frostwolves stand ready.
I have to take the chance. Move his mechs. Have an 8-8. 3 minions on the board. Unlikely to be able to do missile launcher things. At least good missile launcher things yet. 11 damage here, but I want to kill all of his stuff. I'm not going to let him magnetize. What if he has the... But missile launcher Venomizer is like the out that I'm worried of. I have the alternative to Defender of Argus, trade away the bombs.
My shield for Argus.
I'll try this. Maybe I should have played the Flame Imp. Probably should have played the Flame Imp. Oh well. That card worries me, because Missile Launcher Venomizer is the out, and I haven't figured out what I'm going to do about that, if he has that.
Protocol 7.
12 damage. 17, lots of damage.
Protocol 7. For the whole.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.